All right, so George A. Romero's daughter Tina made a zombie film, and I guess this is supposed to be set in the same universe as Romero zombies, maybe? I guess. I don't know. This is called Queens of the Dead, and this is a queer horror film. Now, I know that immediately is going to turn a bunch of people off, but I think they're not really going to click on this video, or they're not going to have any interest in this video, and they're going to be like, her father's rolling over in his grave and all that kind of stuff. It is what it is. Don't watch the movie. That's fine. But yeah, this was in theaters. I actually drove out to see this in theaters. And before I get judgment, as far as like, oh, this is not the target audience, blah, blah, blah. I know I'm not. I agree with you 100%. But that said, I was the only single person in the entire theater. Hetero, male, went to go see a drag queen horror film based on Romero's zombie films. Yeah, literally the only person. And I checked multiple screenings from today. Here, this is the release date of the movie. No one. Zero. And this is the only theater playing it in like a 50-mile radius of me. So if there was anybody who wanted to go see this, queer community or not, they sure as fuck didn't show up. But I did. Because I see fucking everything labeled horror in theaters if it plays. And this stars Katie O'Brien, who I really am a big fan of. Loves Lies Bleeding, which she was in, I think, last year. Was that last year? Yeah, I love that film. Katie O'Brien is one of the rare, very muscular women that I find to be very, very attractive. And I just like her as an actress or an actor or whatever. I think that she's just very engaging and charismatic, and she definitely commands your attention when she's on screen, and I dig her. A lot of other familiar faces here as well. Margaret Cho, which I was not expecting. Bridget Lundy Payne, which I guess they are trans now. I had no idea. Although I guess maybe they always were, or however. I don't know. But regardless, I was very surprised. And what was very surprising about that to me is that, from what I can tell, this is the first movie where they have their trans name, but they're playing a woman in this movie, like not a drag queen or a trans woman or whatever. It's just a woman. I found that very odd. I was like, well, okay, that's a weird way to make your first movie as a trans man. Whatever. Anyway, overall, okay, so yeah, it's late. It's almost 1 a.m. My brain is fucking dead. Sorry. But this is about a drag queen bar who is putting on a show, and of course the zombie apocalypse breaks out, and they have to defend themselves against it. Yeah, I mean, this is pure comedy. The horror is technically there, and there's zombies and whatnot, but it is 100% pure comedy and very much queer, like, drag queen comedy. Now, I didn't really care for this movie much, unfortunately. None of the humor landed for me, and I know you're like, oh, the humor isn't meant for you. I don't know about that. I mean, yeah, maybe. Do I think there will be an audience for this? Of course. I mean, I think there's always an audience for any movie. But last year, Tubi released a drag queen vampire film that had a somewhat similar premise to this, where they're putting on a drag show and vampires instead of zombies attack the club. And I thought that movie was fucking great. I had a really fun time with that. I thought that was funny. I thought that was really charming and cool. Another movie from a couple years ago, Summoning Sylvia, was another one that I quite liked. That kind of falls in line with this style of, like, queer comedy horror. So yeah, I don't know. Am I the target audience? No. But am I somebody who rejects stuff like this? Obviously not. I'm the only fucking person that went to this in Arizona, supposedly, from what I could tell tonight. So that says something. Although I am in a red state, so that probably isn't that surprising. I don't know. I expected at least a few people to be there, but no one was. I think the characters are fun. I just never laughed once. The relationships between the characters were good. There's a lot of bickering and infighting and stuff like that. And there's one character who has kind of lost their ability to perform and go on stage, and they're a very funny, like charismatic person that I liked, but just nothing really worked for me in that regard. Like, I didn't hate the movie. I thought it was enjoyable-ish. Like, I don't know. It was very well shot. It looked really nice. Like, it definitely had a good production value quality to it. It had a lot of familiar good actors. Just the jokes and whatnot, while yes, not aimed at me, I guess, none of them landed. I think there was one thing that was said that actually made me laugh out loud. But other than that, I don't know. Like, I liked the characters. I thought they were all fun enough. I could never really get into it. I could never really connect with anything. Um, and yeah, I mean, as far as where like it ends up, and I guess I should address the horror in this, because this is a horror review channel and this is a zombie film. How were the zombies? How's the horror? How's the gore? Gore zero. That was a shame, especially since the Romero films, especially like Day of the Dead, is some of the great gore that you'll ever see from Tom Savini. So it was a damn shame that this movie featured none, but it makes perfect sense, right, with the tone of this film. I would have been shocked had this been like gruesome and graphic and violent. It's just, it wouldn't have matched the movie. So no shocker there. The zombies in this, they all have that like very discolored skin look to them, and it's okay. And like the way that they're portrayed, it's all just for humor. People make dumb decisions right and left, but it's a comedy, so you're kind of just rolling with it. Yeah, I didn't vibe with this one. I wanted to, like, everything felt like it should be working for me. Like, I felt like this was a fun movie. I just didn't really have any fun. If that makes any sense. Like, it all felt like it was there. Maybe I was just tired and not in the mood for it or whatever, but yeah, unfortunately, I didn't connect with this one. So that's a shame, and I think that a lot of people are, of course, going to dismiss this out of hand, and I'm not really here to try to win you over. So, if this does seem super up your alley, or you're like, oh yeah, like I love drag queen movies, or like super goofy horror comedies, and I like characters like this and whatnot, you might have a much better experience than I did. I just wish that I could enjoy it more, but it just didn't happen. So, oh well, can't win them all. I gotta go to bed. I gotta to get up and go to work in the morning. So I pushed through it. I was so tired in the theater. Maybe that affected it. Maybe, I don't know. I was really paying attention and really trying to vibe, but I don't know. Katie O'Brien was good, and she looked really good. that's about the most I can say. So that's it. All right, guys. Queens of the Dead in theaters now. It will be on Shudder probably in a month or two, probably 2 months, probably around December or something. So if you're not going to catch this in theaters, or it's not by you, or whatever, it'll be on Shudder soon enough, I'm sure. So, Tino Romero, I don't know if you've made any other films, but as far as your dad's legacy goes and connections to the Romero universe, zombie universe, this is definitely not in line with that. But at the same time, like, is this really trying to be like Dawn of the Dead? No, of course not. Do I feel like this fits in with the Romero franchise at all? Absolutely not. So, but they made their own thing, and I hope people who this is aimed at love it. I genuinely do. I really hope this finds its a target audience, and they, find it to be amazing. It just wasn't for me, but I gave it a shot. That's all I can do, and I was fair. That's that. I'll see you in the comments. Good night.